Hi everybody, it's Diane with a very scrappy project today. This is really simple, and I think I got this from somebody on YouTube a few years ago. I don't remember who. I'm not even sure if this is exact, if I altered it at all. I don't know. If you know, go ahead and put it in the comments. But they're just journal cards or anything you want. You could write a note and send it to somebody. You could put photos in here. But the idea is to take, a scrapbook paper. If you can, it's a lot easier to use white on the backs. You don't have to. You can certainly, like I said, if you just want to put photos in, just glue that in. If you want, you could take, a scrap of just plain, printer paper or something, and then glue that over a pattern so someone could write. Okay, how hard is that? And then you get all your scrapbook paper scraps that a lot of us have, and you just cut them into strips. And it's up to you. This one's glued pretty well. These are a little more flappy. And then it's sewed across the top, kind of for interest and security. Obviously, if you want it totally flappy. Okay. If you don't want them to look quite so scrappy, you could certainly, trim the ends better, or notch them, or add a focal image or something. But I thought these are kind of cool. And if you watched my junk journal flip through video I just did, I had those in the journals, and I kind of forgot I even had them. I found it in my stash of journal stuff, and I went, oh, you should make more of those, because I only have a few left. So that's what we're doing. And as you can see with these two, I sort of color coordinated. You certainly don't have to do that either. This one has paint on it because I didn't like, it says rain, rain, go away. I didn't want that all over it. I may do that on like this. That's not too terribly exciting. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to go through my stuff. I guess I'll do it by myself because that's not too exciting. And cut strips, okay? And then I will come back. Okay, I have a bunch of strips that are color coordinated over there. I folded the cards, well, trimmed them and folded them. I do think I want to paint. Definitely these. I think a couple I might just knock down with gesso. I was thinking too, if you don't have scrapbook paper or don't like this look, this would be something you could do with magazines. Do it on an index card and cut magazine strips. That could be very cool too. Or wrapping paper, or color your own papers and cut it up. All right. Yeah, this one, what do you do with that? Maybe make it more blue. If paint's not your thing, you could pick papers you like better to begin with, or add a word or another strip of paper or something like that. You don't necessarily have to paint. Good, good, good. And if you're going to paint or cover and you have a one-way pattern, put the right way on the back then, because you're going to cover the front anyway. Let's do a sort of neutral brown-ish on this. Actually makes it look like it's stained, doesn't it? It's kind of cool. Could make these seasonal too. Do fall colors or Christmas colors, stuff like that. This one, let's just knock it down a little bit. Okay, I think the same with that. I think I'll leave this one alone. Now these two I could definitely leave alone, but I thought as long as I have paint out, maybe I'll do a little, little spatter grunge effect. Okay. Alright, I think that's adequate. Okay, I have to let this stuff dry, and then we'll put strips on. And I gotta wash my hands. Just a minute. Okay, here we are. We're painted and dried. Some of these did sort of buckle, so I had to go out for a while. So I waited them under a book, so they're fine. In case you have buckling. Okay. I don't know that I'll do these all on camera, just to give you an idea. And these obviously are a little long. I'm going to have to trim. And yeah, I'm sort of color coordinating. You don't have to do that. And this is going to take more than I have. I really wasn't sure when I was cutting strips, and I thought, well, don't go crazy and cut everything you own up into strips. Okay, there's one. How about another one? But anyway, I think I'm going to have to cut more. It's the wrong pile. Ew. Alright, there's a color lesson. There's a lot more green or yellow in that than this one. Eek! I don't know, can you hear that plane? I've been in a flight pattern. I think this is the third day now. It's really loud. And I've said this before, I don't live anywhere near an airport, so it's even dumber. Alright, that's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to do that. You don't have to watch me arrange strips. But I did have an idea of bumping it up just a notch of where you sew across. Like here's the old one. If I put a strip of fabric there, just because I can. Of course, I don't really have anything that looks particularly turquoise-ish. I don't know. Oh, that's okay. I don't love it. Let's see what we think. Won't tear. How come some fabric won't tear? And no, I really don't want a big explanation of why. Well, I think that does give it a little more interest. Don't you think? Okay. I'm going to do all that. I assume they'll be done unless I think of something else to bump up. So I will come back and at least show them to you. Hang on. Okay, here we are. I did not do anything else to them. I decided these were just going in my stash. So, you know, if I'm making a flower themed journal, I can add a flower later or something. But I think these are pretty cool just as is anyway. I didn't point out, I just sort of tacked them down with a glue stick. And I don't know why it wasn't working great. So I'm going to go back and hit it with white glue. I don't get that. Anyway, you do see the stitching on the inside. If you don't like that, you could add washi tape over it. You don't have to stitch. You could glue it all down. I do have strips left. I was wrong. So I don't know if I'll make more or come up with something else. Or just put them back in the scrap box. I think these are cute. You could round the corners. You could ink the edges. You know, you could do a lot more with them. They can be any size. Okay, another use of scraps. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a nice day. But wait, there's more. This is a day or two later. I've lost track. So the scraps I had left, I made bigger cards on index cards. And as you can see, added a word. I think that worked out really well. I did put old magazine paper underneath it. You don't have to do that. You could paint it. You could use another scrapbook paper. And then the journal I'm currently working in, the ones that were left, I put on top of a page. It's kind of cool too. Okay, see ya.